All right, what's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Morning Woods podcast. Today, I'm coming at you live from Louisville, Kentucky. We are at my good friend's house and gracious host, Rich Ragains, patreon.com/Johnny Woods Comedy, so you can get the private podcast. I just did again. And this is the second time we've actually recorded this, which is none of your business at home. But just to put it out there, we're feeling a little flustered right now just because I forgot to press record on the camera. Now, something like that can happen. And when you're a one-man band and you're trying to operate like 50 different things, this stuff happens sometimes, dude. But I really appreciate you for having me. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. Welcome.
Dude,
so glad to have you here.
You've been such a great host. You gave me some amazing barbecue earlier.
How about that barbecue?
That barbecue was almost as good as the new podcast, Richie Reads the Room. I don't know if it was as good, but I mean, it was this close to being as good. The spicy barbecue was like, it was pretty close, dude. But Richie Reads the Room was hilarious. You and your cousin, both you named Richie, comedian and an MMA coach. What the hell? Like, what is this? Where is this coming from? How do you guys get the idea to do a podcast together?
Well, it was my idea. We have always been being funny together. We're about the same age. We laugh at the same stuff. We get each other's humor. When we get together, nobody's trying to out funny the other guy. Nobody's stepping on each other's lines or whatever. And it's 100% natural and authentic. I can be funny with him. And he's the funniest guy, man. He's so funny and he just gets it. He's got experience in life. He's successful at what he does. He makes fun of everybody from ditch digger to dignitary, and we just do it. So I'm so excited. This has been something I've been wanting to do forever with him, but I was always in entertainment. He was always doing his own company. He's got a very successful company, and that was his priority. Now the company's doing like $5 million a year, and he's grown. His kids are grown. His family's set. And he's got some time to screw around with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Where this has always been my focus. It's been his, yeah, whatever, I'll do it if I want to. But I've always been trying to get him to do this. He was like, nah, whatever. And now he's doing it. And so we've got one in the can. There's 3 episodes total right now. But I've got another one. I've got 2 more set up for this week. And there's no way people aren't going to like that.
Yeah, I think I had a great time listening to it, and I'm appreciative that you let me be a part of it. So it was really fun in the background. I was laughing the whole time. So make sure you guys go watch that, subscribe to Rich Ragains on YouTube, and go download Richie Reads the Room. It's on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you guys listen to podcasts, you'll be able to find it. So if you guys are a fan of this show, you'll definitely like that too. And you can find the link in the description of this YouTube video. So that being said, and that out of the way, dude, I want to tell you who I saw messing around, and that was Fred Durst. Fred Durst made the news this week. Did you see this?
I didn't.
He got banned from the Ukraine for 5 years.
Why?
Now, I don't know because I just read headlines, but I thought that we could speculate on it. I'm going to guess that it's something like a Brittany Griner situation, only they don't allow butt plugs in the Ukraine. I'm pretty sure he had one in his suitcase. So you
I bet it wasn't in his suitcase.
He went through the body scan, and they were like, Fred, did you have
what?
your Limp Bizkit this morning?
Damn, you'd think you wouldn't get the one with the metal trim on it.
100%. He was like, this was the silver bullet. It had to be.
It's the glitter. You get the glitter ones. They're harder going in, but they're snappy. They're pretty cool.
This episode is sponsored by Glitter. You guys can get that also in the description below. Yeah, dude. I just thought that was crazy that he got banned from the Ukraine. I don't know what's going on over there, but I do know that there are some spy balloons that have been kind of circling the United States, and they're from China apparently. We don't know for sure. We're speculating that they're from China, but did you see this kid who shot one down?
No.
Let me show you what an American hero looks like today. It used to look a little bit different. They used to have camo on, and this is now what the American hero looks like. Dude, did you see Bert Kreischer's video about the spy plane?
No.
It's one of the funniest ones that it's the best reaction. Pull that. I don't know if we could pull that up on here or not, but on his Instagram, but it's one of the best reactions, dude. It's just him dancing in his underwear with a lasso in the middle of the field. And it's just like a drone following him, but it's like the last footage the Chinese spy balloon saw before it exploded, and it was Kreischer just dancing in his underwear.
It's hard for me to laugh at jokes.
Yeah.
But I love a good joke, like
a good sketch.
a joke.
Oh,
like if a comedian tells a joke, and they know how to deliver it, it's just better.
Yeah.
But he told this joke on Bill Maher's podcast. You seen the one from Bill Maher's bar basement?
I like that. Yeah, I watched the one with Tarantino. It was good.
I say which one. I fucking love Bill Maher. He's getting a little weird, but whatever.
He's an
dude.
old guy.
He
He's out of
said
touch a
so
little
much.
bit.
He's I fuck it. The writers are great on that show. I love what he's got to say, and he does look at both sides, which most people don't do. But anyway, he's in there smoking a joint with Kreshner, and the joke goes like this. He goes to this lion. I'm gonna give you the best version of it I can give you. But anyway, there's this lion in Africa, and he's drinking out of the river, and this crazy gorilla sees him. The gorilla runs up and just fucking starts knocking the shit out of him. Liberace's just fucks him in the ass real good, and then takes off. He takes off, and the lion takes off after him, and he runs into this little village, and he looks around to hide from the lion. So he grabs a safari hat and puts it on, and then grabs a New York Times and puts it in front of his face. And the lion comes running and goes, "Hey, anybody see a gorilla around here?" And the gorilla goes, "You mean the gorilla that fucked the lion in the ass?" And the gorilla goes, "It's in the papers already." It's in the papers. Dude, that's a great joke. Funny. God, that's so good.
That's like a classic street joke. Did I never hear jokes like that anymore? Like how many actual comics just tell you jokes like that, like street jokes? It never happens anymore. That's like your uncle or your grandpa or like your buddy at the bar that you work with. Those are the people that tell you street jokes. So that's so good, dude.
Mark
I love
Klein,
a good one.
Older comedians will tell you street jokes. Young people will never do it.
Yeah.
Young comics won't. But Mark Klein is one of those guys you can just go, man, give me a joke or something, whatever, and he'll drop some of the most best.
Dude, you know what pisses me off about younger comics, and I'm a younger comic, but just there's like this like I don't know what to call it. It's almost like a stigma or like a certain idea about like when you're doing jokes on other comics, or like they call it, are you bidding me? Like, are you like, it's like, well, I can't be ironic right now. Like, you're not a fucking, like, dude, you don't live in my head. You don't know what I'm doing. Like, don't like, I don't know. I just think it's annoying when people don't want you to be funny. Like other comics, they're just kind of dry and they're just like, they won't go with you on shit. Does that make sense?
Well, I think part of that goes with the whole getting offended culture.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're a comic, you kind of got to go, I can't use this discount coupon card. I can't because, but if you're in this, you got to be able to take it and give it out too. So, but I think I think we can learn a lot. Older comics can definitely learn from younger ones, and younger ones definitely can learn from older ones. The lack of respect that young comics have for old comics, I think, is bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's the same way when the old guys look at them and go, "Oh, look at this dumb," because the shit they're saying is like, you know, fuck, fuckity fuck. Did you ever see Mr. Saturday Night?
I'm not sure. Who was in
Okay,
it?
it's Billy Crystal.
No, I don't
He's
think
this
so.
comedian he's this comedian in the 80s, and he's done all this big stuff, done all this stuff with the Rat Pack and all this stuff. Now he's an old comic. Now he's doing stupid little gigs at bowling alleys and shit because he's just not relevant anymore. And then he finally gets a chance to do this thing for this big director who loved him growing up. That was his dude growing up. Long story short, but during the movie, he's looking at what comedy in it is. And he's looking at the TV, and this dude's got long hair, and he's wearing just a black wife beater, and he's like, "Hey, you guys like drugs? You like getting hammered on drugs?" And he's looking at this like, "What is this?" Now, for context, that's just how things are now.
Yeah.
Young comedy now is what young comedy's always going to be, and they're going to be the rebels, and they're going to do the shit the older people don't like. But you've got to give credence to those old guys because they made the path for all these young guys.
Right.
And so to not have the respect for that is terrible. But on the other hand, too, the old guys, you got to respect these young guys. There's, we didn't have, Bill Burr's the new Pryor.
Right.
Because Pryor didn't really have, they weren't like set up punch. He was just talking. Red Fox, same thing. He was just talking. He was a little more jokey, because he used some old shit too. But the way Bill Burr, he doesn't have setup and punches and jokes. He's just talking.
Yeah.
And now you're in the Mark Twain department.
Those are my favorite types of comics. We talked about it earlier with Louis. Then you also have like Segura, the people who tell story. So there's this thing about story that I think is more compelling than just the average joke. Because even before stand-up comedy was a thing, which we know it's been a thing since the court jester days, we can probably all agree that whoever's watching, and you and I think we can agree that it's been around, it's been a medium for a long time, but even before that, and in times where there aren't entertainment, there's always been like a guy around the campfire or some uncle or some guy telling you a story, just a funny thing. And that is what's translated to stage as stand up. So the idea of telling stories has been around since the beginning of time, since as long as language has been a thing. So I think that's why it's so compelling to see good storytellers who can also punch it up and make it funny. It's the best thing.
Good stories are the greatest things ever.
Yes.
Coming from anywhere, a good story is a good story. Whether you can, I mean, you know, the whole thing about what's the joke about they did a whole documentary on it.
The aristocrat.
The aristocrats.
I knew that that's where you're
yeah,
going.
you knew where I was going with
It's
it.
a good one.
It's filthy, and everybody's told it. The whole thing, the
Yeah.
whole documentary, on how all these different people tell that joke.
Yeah.
How cool is that? And so, all the great stories uh, come from a cool place. I think. Well, they come from dark places too, but I think they're passed down. The worst ones are the Bible ones because those are bullshit stories.
Right. Yeah, but
And
they're
not
also
funny.
those
There's
are the
no funny in the Bible.
It's the
That's why I'm
Avengers.
not into it.
Dude,
There's
if
no
you watch
funny in the Bible.
if you watch the Avengers now, it's just the same stories from the Bible, but it's like CGI.
I never thought about that.
That's really what it feels like to me. I'm like, dude, this is the same.
Well, but they added a little humor.
Well, yeah, there's some there's some abs in there too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about great stories. A good story that I saw the other day was that Chinese spy balloon, but I'll tell you what was bigger than that spy balloon, what was inflated even more than that, and that was Madonna's face at the Grammys.
Oh my God.
Did you see her face?
Bro.
Let me show you.
Look at that. Look at that. I
crazy.
saw it.
This
I
is
saw it.
crazy.
I thought it was something else.
No, dude, she looks like Mickey Rourke. She looks like Mickey Rourke in The Boxer.
Looks like Mickey Rourke after the boxer.
She looks like, yeah.
God damn.
She looks like Mickey Rourke had a baby with an actual boxer.
Well, so I bet she's got a real high, expensive assistant that punches her in the face that many times before she goes in front of you. What are you doing,
Yeah,
Madonna?
dude, I don't know what's going on. She literally looks like a lizard person, bro. She looks like Sam Kinison right before he died. You remember Sam Kinison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you first saw him, he looked terrible. But
Yeah.
the thing with Madonna, what I don't understand about that is it's so easy for me to sit back and judge, but I'm gonna. So
Yeah.
I think that she is a person. I remember a long time ago, I was young. I was with my wife before we got married, and she said to two older friends of the family, and she said, "I love Madonna because she doesn't care what anybody thinks." And my older friend said, "She cares more than anything about what people think of her." And you think about it, she's been image based her entire career.
Yeah.
Everything has been about a certain look and a certain way and a certain thing. And she's looked fine as hell. She's got a great body. She's a beautiful woman. You've got Madonna money. And you can't do better than that. You
Dude,
don't think you could skip that and get a holistic? You can afford a trainer. You can get a dietitian. You can get a skin doctor. You can get anything, and that's the final product of your decisions.
Dude, her face looks like my calves after that pulled pork sandwich you made me earlier.
That was some good shit.
That was some good. That was some good pork. This episode is sponsored by Rich Ragains pork sandwiches. No, dude, you'd have to be a blind guy to want to bang Madonna right now. You literally have to be blind. And speaking of blind guys, because I'm really good at this. Speaking of blind guys, did you see that blind guy who was at the gym and the woman called him out for staring at her like a pervert?
I did see that.
What a Karen, dude.
Oh my God.
This stuff is getting out of control with these ladies calling people out on shit. Just like those ushers that called you out. I don't know if that was in this episode or the one before. It was in the one before that's not going to air. But it's just like, so this doesn't make any sense at all for the people listening. But it's just like people who call people out for shit that they have no business calling people out on, like I'm doing about Madonna's face. It's like, I hate those fucking people, dude. You know?
And hypocrites.
Hypocrites.
I hate hypocrites are a son of a bitch.
Hypocrites. And people wear sunglasses at night indoors. Fucking idiots.
Shit, hold on, that's Lanning.
They're like, where you guys at? Yeah. This is
Should
going to be a short one anyway. It won't keep me in the editing. Yeah, you might want to answer it. We're
me to
actually going to be...
answer it?
Yeah, answer it. Get him on the... Tell him when it's on the podcast.
Okay, you're on the Johnny Woods podcast, Brad Lanning. Don't say any F words like fuck.
Oh man, I'm gonna choke. I know it.
This is your big one, man. This is your one big chance.
Thanks for being on the podcast, Brad.
One shining moment.
I don't know which part this is.
Hey,
going
we're
on.
excited. We're excited to do the show with you tonight, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, absolutely. I can't wait. I'm trying to get ready, but man, I am such a procrastinator. It is just a terrible disease.
It's the worst.
It is bad,
God.
dude.
Especially since we're going to do something we hate.
Right.
It's the worst, dude. Hey, listen, let's ask Brad Lanning about this while we have him. Does Brad Lanning know that a 30-second commercial for the Super Bowl cost $7 million this year on Fox, and they're already sold out?
Everything's going up.
What do you think about that, dude? Is that caused by inflation right now?
Yeah, I mean, eggs are like $13 a dozen, so yeah, I can believe it.
Dude, do you think we're going to see eggs as a Super Bowl commercial this year? Is
No, man. No, eggs are on the way out again. I don't know if you heard.
Nah, dude,
Oh, yeah, now
big
they'll kill
egg.
you.
It's big egg.
Yeah, eggs are killing you again.
Joe Rogan said they're killing you, dude. Did you guys see
Yeah, they're
that?
killing you.
He posted it on his Instagram. They're causing heart attacks.
Joe Rogan.
Yep, the Podfather.
The meatheads Aristotle.
Dude, if you get your if you get your information from Joe Rogan, you might want to just quit life.
Hey,
You gotta watch out for eggs.
I got to tell you this too, man. I made a big old pot of barbecue and we just chowed down. So
Oh,
I
man.
got to bring you some up to the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
This has
man
gotta be your
appreciate-
side
this guy-
business.
Do you know about his wings?
No, of course not. I've never met him.
Dude,
No.
You got to come down and we got to do a podcast just about his wings.
Brad, was that the craziest thing he's ever said, Brad? I said, was that the craziest thing Rich has ever said? He's like, have you had his wings before?
No, not even close.
No, listen, when you come down, we're going to do a whole podcast on nothing but the wings.
Let's do barbecue. Can we do a cook-off? Let's do a cook-off.
Well, you are now, honey. Listen, there's no cook-off with this guy's wings. You're wasting your time and wasting your film.
Are we talking smoked, deep fried? What's the situation?
I think I should answer this one, Brad. Here's what's going on.
I love how he's your spokesman. This is Big Smoky Wing Company's spokesman.
You better let me take this grounder.
Did Rich just put his foot up on something?
100%. He adjusted it.
I adjusted my balls when I did that.
He cocked into place and he was ready for a pitch meeting.
Well,
No, the wings are good. I smoke them for about an hour and a half, and then I light new charcoal after that, and then I do a kind of reverse sear on them and put a little sauce on them, and usually use hickory smoke.
Dude, that sounds amazing. This episode brought to you
man.
by Brad
I
Lanning's
tell
Hickory
you,
Smoked
I like
Wings.
I really like when they've got that sort of just light black charm. Like there's so much flavor in those little burnt edges and things. Oh my God, I'm a wing head.
no, man, I'm serious. And he's been doing this thing the way he does it for years. We actually started out on this journey together, me and him and Dave Bazanis. We're trying to do the best.
Grill, though, remember?
Listen, I got an idea. I want to pitch you guys a business right now. I want to pitch you guys a business. I think we should all three go in on it. Now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take your wings. We're gonna smoke them, and then we're gonna freeze dry them, make them huge and puffy, and we're gonna sell them to girls on TikTok.
I love that idea. What could go wrong?
Let's
I love
freeze
that
dry
idea.
chicken wings.
It's a done deal. Hey, sign this contract I've already
Let's
got written.
go, dude. It's gonna be incredible. You're talking about big wings. You're like, dude, did you see those GMO
Get my
motherfuckers?
wings. This is like Founder.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
You know, the other thing, too, with this wing recipe, it saves you from eggs. So it's clinically been
Yeah.
proven to keep you from
Watch
dying.
out for eggs, man.
Dude, if you
Watch
eat
out
enough
for eggs.
wings, you can fly away from the eggs.
That's right, you can. So
true.
he's got this shit down, Pat. There's no cook-off involved
Yes.
here.
This is not an episode where you can find factual information, but we do appreciate you guys listening.
You don't have to look.
Oh.
Kay walked in. She's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "I'm on a podcast." She's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry."
And a kick-ass podcast, too, a really good one.
Well, thank you very much.
So are you ready for tonight?
Yeah, no.
No.
Well, that's too bad. We're already here. We're already coming.
Did you hear the lie come out of my mouth immediately? Yeah, no, I'm not.
I'm glad you said you did it with lots of conviction on the yes and the no, and I appreciate that.
It's really hard to read the room right now, Brad.
You got to give him that. It's like being on a fucking Zoom show.
Yeah, dude.
So I got to go on Terry Miners yesterday, and he brought up the No Excuse Dad book, and I was like, "Yeah," because I told you guys were gonna be on the show tonight, and he was like, "Didn't Rich write a book like the No Excuse Dad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like it's like a great book. I mean, he's it's like all about his experiences raising his kids." And so you had 84 WHAS blasting out
Good, man.
That's awesome, dude. I didn't know Rich wrote a book either. You should send me the link to that, and we can put it in the description of the podcast so that people can go listen to it.
There you go, man.
Is it an audio book?
No, it's just a book.
Have you thought about doing an audio version and re-releasing it and put it on Audible?
Anything's possible, man.
Dude, especially you have your own recording studio right here at your house.
I know, it's pretty damn cool.
This is awesome, dude.
I know. Well, so we'll see you up there in a little bit. What time is it?
It is
6:27.
almost 6:30. So
Well, I'm gonna scrape together as much new stuff as I can do. I'm really gonna push it on the new
that's
stuff.
that's what I told him on the radio. I was talking to Rich after his headlining set, and he was like, "Man, I forgot to do this one. I forgot to do that one." And I was like, "Well, just come up on my show and do all the ones you forgot." So
I'm gonna write them down on a piece of paper and stick them to the little table there and just go.
yeah, I don't even care if you eat it.
I know you're hoping I eat it. What are you talking about? Better hope I don't care. You better hope these You better hope they don't all work.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All that new stuff, electricity. Like, oh man, Rich just burnt this place to the ground, and I'm not prepared.
He's got a standing O. What the fuck?
Do you hear that? Standing ovations tonight, guys.
You dick.
That's the kind of comedy you can expect to see at the Comedy Caravan, everybody. That's where you can come see us. Come see us. Come see Brad Lanning and follow Rich and Brad, everybody. We really appreciate you guys watching. That's been Brad Lanning. I've been Johnny Woods. Rich, you want to shout out your social media before we go?
I'll see you guys up there. I gotta
Okay.
go.
We'll see you up there, dude.
All right, buddy. See ya.
How long have we been going? You check the watch on for
Oh,
us?
it's on here. Yeah.
We don't want to go too
21.
21. So we got a couple of minutes and we can wrap up. But dude, I think we got some cool clips. I think we talked about some hot button stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
We definitely plugged the Richie Reads the Room podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna post that in the description for people at home. But is it at Rich Ragains everywhere? People can follow you at Rich Ragains.
At Rich Ragains and then richragains.com.
And you have a book, dude. That is so cool. I didn't know.
2 books.
Dude, that's the thing is like I meet so many cool people in this business. You're probably definitely one of the coolest ones that I've ever met so far. But like I don't realize like people who've been in the business for so long, like how many accolades that people have. Like you've written a book, you've been on Sirius XM, you've probably done a lot of other stuff that I'm not giving you credit for. And like does that ever suck where people don't like really realize like the level of like comic that you are? Does that ever bother you, or do you just like kind of let it roll off?
No, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, what you don't know.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
It's up. If I'm gonna put that out, I gotta get it in front, do it the right way, and get it in front of the right people in the right ways, and then they'll know. But
Yeah.
it's
I just know that I like.
You still get to go do the things you love.
Yeah, I just know that I liked you and you were a really cool guy. I always thought you were funny anytime I've ever seen you. So I thought that like just working with you was cool for me. But now knowing like even more so that you're just like I already knew you were like a legit stand up, but it's just really cool, dude. I'm happy that you've it seems like you've had such a great career. Like you've had a long standing career and you're still going, and now it's also I noticed this in every industry. It's this thing where people who are able to adapt to the current situation of whatever's going on in the industry, for some reason they tend to stick around. And like now, like you've done all these things. When radio was hot, you were doing that. You wrote a book, and now I definitely see you morphing into this podcast sphere pretty seamlessly because you've already been doing it in other places. And I don't know, dude. I think that yeah, you got a lot of years left in this game.
Well, I tell you what, it's different now. The last few years, it's really hit me that I'm an older comedian, and like I went down to this thing, this little place, and I went down to Zanies, and I hadn't worked Zanies for a million years for whatever reason. That's stupid because they're right down in Nashville, and I'm in Louisville, So, I went down there, and I was like, hey, I just stopped in to see Greg Warren, and I said, hey, I'm a headliner from Louisville, can I just come on in? And they're like, at first they weren't going to let me in. And they go, well, we don't know. The guy said, we don't know you. And I said, well, my picture's on the wall if you want to go out there and look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, and so.
Holy shit.
But then I went to this thing. These guys had this mic set up in this really cool bar. And I talked to Brad Sativa and said, hey, can I come down? And he said, yeah, I don't think there's room in the show, but come on out and hang out. So I go hang out with all the comedians. And I'm just hanging out in this bunch of crowded tables. We're all kind of together. And I still wasn't sure if I was going to even get on or not. But these guys are all sitting there. Not one dude said one thing to me. And these guys are going up to them the worst comedy you ever saw and sitting down. Nobody's like, hey, where you from? Are you a comic? What's going on? Nobody said a word to me. They didn't give a shit. And then one guy goes, I'm sitting kind of close to this one guy, not saying a word. And this other guy goes, is that your dad? And the guy goes, no. And I go, I'm his lover. You know, so, but again, they didn't know. They didn't know. Give two shits, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, I would wreck this joint. You
Yeah.
know.
Your pictures on the wall, literally. That's crazy,
Yeah, and they're
dude.
like, because they don't know. And I'm not sitting there going, anybody should know me. Not saying that. I just mean that as an older comedian, they're not going to look at you like, you know. That's why I always kind of had a problem with hot female comedians, because it's like, dude, no, you can't take Eliza Schlesinger. You can take nothing away from that girl. She is solid ass, just a fine comedian in every single way. But like, you know, Sarah, what's her name? Sarah, fuck, I can't even think of her name.
Sarah Silverman?
Yeah, Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
I think the only reason she's anywhere is because she's hot.
Yeah.
Because I was in New York. You want to hear a cool little quick story before we go?
100%.
I was in New York. I just started out as an MC. I was at the top of an MC's game. I wasn't a solid, good, strong feature yet. I was a beginner. Had no business, but I spent 2 summers in New York a million years ago. And so we're at the Boston Comedy Club down there in the Village. And I had no inhibitions about hitting on anybody. And I see her come in, hanging out with the comedians. I go, who is that? They said, oh, that's Sarah Silverman. I was like, God damn. So I walked right up on her. I walk up on Sarah Silverman and I go, hey, I'm Rich. How you doing? She looks at me and goes, and just turns and walks away.
Oh, yeah.
She blew me off harder than anybody's ever
That's so
done that.
funny.
And I don't say what I said because she blew me off. I just think, you know, you look at, if I was a total hot girl comedian, all those little shitbirds around me would have been like, oh, you do this? You want to, I got to sew. You want to get some time on blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
But you see this old fucker sitting there and they're like, who are you? Your dad? So that's the part that sucks about getting older, even though you know you can go crush.
Yeah. I think that you're handling it pretty well. It doesn't seem to like be affecting your career.
It does.
Right?
No.
No, it doesn't seem to be affecting your career. It's like you're still getting gigs, you're still working, and now with the free time on your hands, you're filling it with this other thing that is still comedy.
I'm so excited about the podcast.
It's still comedy, dude. It's like an open mic every week for yourself at your house. You get to talk about new stuff in society and in your life, and it kind of gives people insight that they didn't have just seeing you on stage. It's still stand up. It's still behind the mic. It's just different. And you don't always kill, but you do always, when you get good and stuff, it feels like, you know, the stories that you tell people and kind of like the stuff that you would never do on stage, it comes out, even though it's maybe unnatural or unscripted. People do gravitate towards that stuff, and in my opinion. But I also don't want to say like make podcasting everything, because even though you have to kind of grind it out for a couple years and get that following, it will take away from your comedy, like it did for me. And now I'm really grinding hard on stage and just getting funny and knocking the rust off, because it's like it was hurting me when I would bomb, and I'm like, dude, this stuff works all the time, but I wasn't working out. So when you don't work out, it's like I get my bitch tits back. I had my bitch tits back in comedy because I focused on this podcasting thing for a year, and I only went up once a week. You know what I mean? So it's like
you can't worry about bombing, because that's the tough part for every comedian, is that, okay, I get the times when I'm working a lot, I'm just doing club after club and night after night. You get into that rhythm of that stuff that you've worked on and honed, and you've put it all together. When you work on your new stuff and you try it out and people don't know who you are. I mean, if you're a big star, like when Chris Rock came in this club, I was working in New Jersey one time, and he was working on new shit. They're going to laugh because it's Chris Rock, and he's earned everything, and I get it. But if they don't know who you are and you're doing new stuff, you're going to eat it a lot of the times. And the tough part for me is when you add your new stuff in there, then you lose your ABCD joke setup is totally different. So now you've got to put it in between C and D. Now it's not the same A, B, C, D, E. It's shit, that next one, and you've got to segue it on both ends.
Yeah.
On the going into the new
it
joke
has to
you
flow.
add, and then you got to pull it out of there. So like tonight, I'm going to go up there with all this new stuff and do as much stuff as I can do.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to do a little crowd work with it or whatever, but I'm trying to do as much as I can do.
A good segue is almost important as a good joke. It's like getting in and getting out of that material and onto the next thing and keeping that show flowing and seamless is just as important as being funny. There's a lot of stuff out there that's just not written. It's only talked about, right? With comics and in the comedy community and as a person who learns the art and kind of watches it from behind the scenes. There's a certain knowing that doesn't ever get written down or anything like that, and that's one of the fun parts about being a comic is having these little secrets. It's like we have these little secrets that the audience isn't in on it, but we all know, and we all participate, and we all kind of collectively decide to keep certain secrets amongst the crew, right? I think that there's a big part of that, not revealing too much of the magician's secret with this podcast. Go to patreon.com/Johnny Woods Comedy. Also go to reallydumbmedia.com. You guys listen to the podcast. You guys can look at other stuff on there. Book me